And hello again, everyone. Nice to see you all again. All right, so today is obviously the second day of the competition. So we'll start with some introductions, and then I will read through the instructions for the 10-minute presentation, and then have you go ahead and give your presentation. And then we'll kind of take a pause, let everyone collect themselves, and then I will read the instructions for the 90-second presentation. We'll go from there, and then you'll be done, and we'll give you all some feedback, and you'll be good to go. So it goes quick, but we're really looking forward to the discussion today. So my name is Megan Weiss, and I work at Raytheon Technologies out here in California. And it's, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing your presentations today. Bill, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Megan. Good morning. My name is Bill Murin. I am a retired healthcare executive, and I currently serve on 3 boards, as well as do community service work. And this is my 4th year as a senior judge, and I am looking forward to your presentations today. Good luck to everybody. Thanks, Megan.
Sure. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so you have been called back by the company you gave your presentation to for a second visit. They have asked you to speak only about the ethical aspects of the problem and to explain why your solution successfully handles any ethical issues. You will have 10 minutes. There will be no Q&A. You may not use slides or video. You probably don't want to have more than 2 or 3 members of your team do this. All right, so I'm going to get my timer ready. And who's going to be speaking for the 10-minute session today? Looks like, oh, 4. Okay, great. All right, this will be good. All right, I got my 10-minute timer ready. So I will go on mute, and I will, whenever the first person's ready to start talking, you can go ahead and I will start the timer at that point. Okay, great.
Thank you, Coca-Cola Board of Directors, for this other meeting. We are Earth Health Consulting, and I am Ahmed Al-Sadhan, a finance major at my university, and I would be the environmental analyst.
Hi, I'm Anna Norton. I am a senior marketing major at our university, and I'm the ethics analyst.
Hello, my name is Zachary Nagel. I am a junior finance major at our university, and I am the financial analyst.
Hi, I'm Audric Sriati. I'm a senior finance major at our university, and I'm the solution engineer.
Thank you, Coca-Cola Board of Directors, once again for meeting with us today so that we can further dive into the ethics of our bottling solution that we presented to you yesterday. So to summarize what our solution was, we are saying that the Coca-Cola company transitions to a 100% aluminum packaging as humans in all life have the healthy, clean, and safe environment. This solution allows Coca-Cola to remain loyal and on track with towards their aim of making 100% of its packaging recyclable by 2025 and use at least 50% of recycled materials in their packaging by 2030. So for Coca-Cola's bottling decision to be regarded as ethical in the global scope, our solution addresses many of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and these goals will be responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, and life on land. So throughout our time here today, we will analyze the ethical implications of our solution and address much of the feedback we received from you yesterday. So first, Zachary will discuss why aluminum is an ethical way to go.
Yes, thank you, Anna. The biggest issue with plastic packaging is the harmful effects that it has on the environment when it is not properly recycled. This is why our solution is centered around the transition to 100% aluminum products. As discussed yesterday, when using recycled aluminum, it has tremendous advantages as it requires 95% less energy to use than to produce new, and it also has an infinite lifespan. So the process to partner with recycling companies and to push for greater global recycling initiatives is a process that will take many years to establish and strengthen. Why aluminum is such a great material, ethically speaking, is because when improperly managed, left in landfills or ending up in our oceans. It does not degrade and leak harmful chemicals and carcinogens into the environment in the manner that plastics do. Improperly managed plastic waste leaks microplastics into our oceans, wildlife, food sources, and ultimately makes its way into our bloodstreams. Aluminum does not leak these microplastics, and when left in landfills or the oceans, it takes 250 years to 500 years to begin the breakdown process, which gives us plenty of time to establish extremely strong recycling initiatives to gather up any improperly managed aluminum to be reused and recycled. Now back to Anna to speak why consumers will be willing to pay more for these ethical product options, as this is key to reducing any financial impact of our proposed solution.
Yes, so questions regarding whether consumers would be willing to pay more for the ethical option, and if then this is a fair solution arose. So we followed up with some research into this matter. According to the 2021 Global Sustainability Study conducted by global strategy and pricing consultancy Simon-Kucher and Partners, we found that more than a third of global consumers are willing to pay more for sustainability, especially those consumers within the millennial and Gen Z generations. And so the world has seen a demanding growth for environmentally friendly alternatives, as 85% of consumers have reported becoming greener in purchasing in recent years. So although the price of Coca-Cola may slightly increase due to heightened costs, we believe this price will be justified and that consumers will have no problem paying a few more cents for a product that is still advancing sustainability efforts. And now to Audric to discuss why aluminum is the ethical option in regards to protecting human health.
By transitioning to aluminum, Coca-Cola can help minimize the spread and exposure of microplastics to the environment. Exposure to microplastic is not a good thing, as it can increase the risk of chemical exposure and lead to severe health problems such as cancer, stroke, autoimmune diseases, and cardiovascular problems. In 2012, a probabilistic exposure assessment was conducted by Health Canada that takes individual chemical concentrations determined in food and compares them with the range in consumption patterns of canned drinks and food. The assessment concluded that current exposure to BPA through packaging did not pose a health risk to the general population. Although now used in just 10% of steel cans in the United States, BPA is still in roughly half of all aluminum cans. Our solution ensures that BPA will not be present in the aluminum packaging as required by the FDNA. To add to that, drinking out of aluminum cans or bottles can not lead to Alzheimer's disease, as it is a myth. During the 1960s and 1970s, aluminum emerged as a possible suspect in Alzheimer's. This suspicion led to concern about exposure to aluminum through everyday sources such as pots, pans, beverage cans, antacids, and antiperspirants. Since then, studies have failed to confirm any role for aluminum in causing Alzheimer's. Experts today focus on other areas of research, and few believe that everyday sources of aluminum pose any threat. Now Ahmad will go through the ethical lenses.
So we want to make sure that our solution is ethical, and because of that, we did our research using the Markula Center for Applied Ethics and uses some of their lenses. So first, we put the test of the common good. So the common good lens calls attention to the common conditions that are important to the welfare of everyone, such as in our case, clean air and water. The common good test questions whether we are doing our part to look out for the common good in our situation. As Coca-Cola reaches billions and billions of people worldwide every single day, Coca-Cola clearly has an obligation to promote the common good. Although we've seen that Coca-Cola cares about its consumers and the health of the world, we see that frankly, a lot of their actions are not necessarily promoting the common good. By transitioning to 100% aluminum packaging, Coca-Cola will be doing good by the earth, the oceans, and all forms of life. In addition to the common good test, we chose the best outcomes test. So the utilitarian lens states that an ethical action is the one that produces greatest balance of good over harm for as many stakeholders as possible. The utility test questions whether our proposed solution will produce the best outcomes for everyone affected. We have first identified the alternative action as producing solely aluminum cans of bottles. So who will this affect? We acknowledge that not only the company, consumers, and environment will be affected, but the stakeholders as well. Then looking at the benefits and costs to those affected, the health of life and the earth will be positively impacted. Shareholders may perhaps earn less dividends in the short term, but not to worry, this will subsidize, and the transition to all aluminum will allow for an even brighter and opulent future for them. Then, of course, looking at the Coca-Cola company itself, we will experience heightened costs, but this switch will end up saving other costs in the long run. On a more positive note, Coca-Cola will also gain a greater positive brand reputation as we begin to see consumers more and more spend their dollar on ethical companies taking action toward the betterment of our world. By transitioning to all aluminum packaging, Coca-Cola can reduce effects of plastic pollution and degradation, contribute good over harm, and benefit the common good. Thank you.
Great job. You had about a minute and a half left. I was about to give you a little signal there. All right. So deep breath. Happy Friday. So we're going to, give you guys some feedback and some thoughts. I'll see this first over to Bill. So Bill, what would you like to share?
Well, congratulations to all of you, and happy Friday after 2 days of going through the competition. And we thank you for participating in this event. I was very impressed that you were able to get the 10-minute presentation not equally divided, but smoothly among 4 people. That is not an easy task to do in 10 minutes. And you were able to do that very, very well. You hit some very key points that were important, particularly around the ethical issues. You got to those, and you spoke to those issues, and you spoke then to how it comes back. So impressive. You were clear, articulate, and it showed in the presentation. So congratulations. This competition, is an opportunity not only for you as students to do the research, look at the data, do the analysis, come up with recommendations, and make presentations. It is also an opportunity to learn and to get some feedback from people that have been exposed to this in the past and have been in companies. And so with that in mind, in terms of the presentation, sometimes if you look at the way that the scenario is set up, the board is asking you to come back and speak to ethical issues. And so there's usually a reason for that. They have an interest, they have a question, they're questioning that. And you did a very good job of presenting that. And the only suggestion is to link that to how it directly harms somebody through the long link of things. So you can show, studies show that this is hazardous, it creates this kind of impact. But let me explain to you that, children in XYZ country can be exposed to chemicals, and we have statistics that show that this results in these many types of illnesses or injuries or impact on their economy, whatever the case might be. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit, because then that links it back to what you're anticipating the board is thinking, why should we do this? And then you bring it home and say, let me tell you why. This is really it. And otherwise, and that's only a suggestion, because you guys really did a great job.
Hey, thank you, Bill. I thought those were really interesting points. I'm taking it all in. So I had the benefit of obviously seeing you all present yesterday. I have to say, you guys blew me away with how you addressed the feedback from yesterday. I don't know how much time you guys spent researching since when I saw you yesterday, but Bill, for your awareness, I think every one of them, I could tell, was providing information back to a specific question that they got yesterday. So I am so impressed that you did that. I caught, Zachary, when you were talking about why aluminum isn't even as bad as plastic, right? So I know that was one of the questions of, aren't we just taking one problem and just creating a different problem? So really well done there. Anna, you addressed my question about, why are people willing to pay more? How do you know that? I mean, you had a really good answer for that. So I can't tell you how happy I am. You guys obviously listened to the questions and the feedback and like hopped on it and incorporated it for today. So like really well done on that. The only thing I'll say is, Ahmed, and I don't remember this from yesterday, your lighting is really dark today. So like we can't really see your face.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. I'm in the same location, but
Okay. That's okay. I mean, yeah, just something to think about. I mean, we do have to think about that nowadays in our new world, right? That I mean, I've had to talk to my employees about the lighting, in their workspaces, because I had one employee who was, where she was working was very backlit, and it was always I could only just see the silhouette, and you want to see people's faces, right? So just something to be aware of. But yeah, I don't have any other comments. Just I'm so pleased I got to see you guys again today and really appreciate all the work that you put into it. All right.